All right, old school NBA fans, self-research, NBA facts. Got another video here for you. I know it's a little dark in here, but whatever. Again, thanks to anybody who subscribes to my channel and watches my videos. I really appreciate it. I pretty much have done what I set out to do. This was never going to be my thing, but I feel like I've reached the right people, and I think some people have gotten some stuff out of it, and I'm happy to do it. I have too. It's been a lot of fun. I've been hearing some chatter over the last couple weeks. I just felt compelled to do a video on this. I already did a video on the 94 Bulls. That for a lot of people is a benchmark of how great the supporting cast of Michael Jordan was. But as I pointed out in that video, it wasn't the same team. This was not the 93 Bulls minus Jordan. The other video can explain all that. But in this video, what I'm getting into is somebody brought up that B.J. Armstrong and Horace Grant got made All-Stars in 94. And that was due to Pippen's leadership, I guess. And I'm here to say that's crap, total crap. And a big reason why the 94 Bulls had their success, a large part of what I'm going to get into here. Now, from the 93 All-Star team in the East to the 94, the players who were the same was Scottie Pippen, Shaq, Patrick Ewing, Mark Price, and Dominique Wilkins. 5. There was 5 players that were from the 93 team. So, 7 new players came in. Now, of the 7 that weren't there, Michael Jordan retired, Isaiah Thomas got hurt, Larry Johnson got injured, and that was in the 94 season, same with Isaiah. Brad Daugherty got injured. Joe Dumars, which I think he got snubbed. He actually should have been the All-Star that year. He averaged 20.4 points per game, but the Detroit Pistons lost 20 of 21 points right before the All-Star break. So when your team's that bad, I could see why you would get snubbed. Detlef Schrempf got traded to Seattle. Larry Nance was injured. So as you can see, a lot of these players were either injured or retired, traded, whatever. Now, some other key players that would have had consideration. Reggie Lewis, who was a 92 All-Star, he averaged 20.8 points per game in 92 and 93. But Reggie Lewis died in the offseason. As did Drazen Petrovic of the New Jersey Nets. He was an All-NBA player in 1993. So I'm pretty sure I think he ended up averaging around 24 points a game. I'm pretty sure he would have made an All-Star team. And also Dennis Rodman got traded to the Spurs. So all these players are out of the conference. Now, the 7 players that replaced the 7 I mentioned in the 93 were Alonzo Mourning, but he was hurt, so his replacement was Charles Oakley. That was his first and only All-Star game. If Mourning doesn't get hurt, Oakley is never an All-Star in his whole career. Horace Grant, John Starks, Mookie Blaylock, Derek Coleman, Kenny Anderson, and B.J. Armstrong. Now, to me, this has got to be the weakest guard tandem I've ever seen on an All-Star team. No top 75 players, no Hall of Famers. Your 5 guards were B.J. Armstrong, Kenny Anderson, Mark Price, who maybe should be in the Hall of Fame, Mookie Blaylock, and John Starks. That's your 5 guards for the East. That's pretty weak. Now, of the 5 guards, Kenny Anderson was averaging 18.8 points per game and 9.6 assists. Mark Price was 17.3 points per game, 7.8 assists. John Starks was averaged 19 points a game. Mookie Blaylock, 13.8 points per game, but he had 9.7 assists and 2.6 steals per game. He was first team all defense, and he was 7th in defensive player of the year. So Blaylock was getting on there more for his defense, and his passing. He had almost 10 assists a game. Now, B.J. Armstrong, 14.8 points per game, only 3.9 assists per game on 47.6% shooting. Now, what's funny is the year before that people say, oh, he made B.J. Armstrong also. He averaged 12.3 points in 1993 on 49.9% shooting. So Armstrong averaged 2.5 points more a game, I think on like 3 or 4 more shots, but his shooting percentage went down, a decent chunk. He went from 49.9 to 47.6. That's the not having Michael Jordan effect. So to me, B.J. Armstrong got incredibly lucky. It was just one of those years, like I said, Reggie Lewis, Drazen Petrovic weren't there, passed away. Isaiah Thomas got hurt. Michael Jordan retired. And Joe Dumars got snubbed. Come on, Joe Dumars averaging 20.4 points per game. The guy's in the Hall of Fame. There's no way B.J. Armstrong should have got in over him. But the Bulls were coming off that three-peat, and they were cashing it in. Now, Horace Grant. The forwards were Charles Oakley was averaging 11.8 points, 11.8 rebounds, but he was first team all defense, 9th in defensive player of the year. Horace Grant was averaging 15.1 points per game, so about 3.3 more. 11 rebounds, so about a rebound less. And he was second team all defense. So to me, Oakley and Horace Grant are pretty much a wash. Now the year before, the 2 years before, I guess, Horace Grant he averaged 14.2 and 10 rebounds. So he's marginally going up without Jordan. Marginally. The other forwards were Dominique Wilkins, who actually got traded right after the All-Star game to the Clippers. And if anybody remembers, Atlanta was the number 1 seed in 1994. I can't remember why they traded Dominique. But your number 1 seed lost its best player and scorer. So that it diminished their chances of doing anything. And they barely got out of the first round, lost in the second round. So that was ridiculous. I think it was they traded him for Danny Manning or whatever. But Charles Oakley, Horace Grant, Dominique Wilkins, first-time All-Star Derek Coleman, and Scottie Pippen. Now, Derek Coleman was averaging 20.2 points per game, 11.3 rebounds. He was third-team All-NBA. So he clearly deserved that shot. Larry Johnson was injured. Larry Nance was injured. Detlef Schrempf got traded to the West. Dennis Rodman got traded to the Spurs. That's what I'm saying. Like, all these things had to happen in order for Horace Grant and B.J. Armstrong to become All-Stars. It was just a lucky fluke thing that so many players left the East from 93. I mean, there's even other ones like Kevin McHale, he retired. So many players left the East in 93. The only player of note that was added was Penny Hardaway. That's it. But I've done, again, the other video explains this a lot more in detail. But essentially, when the Bulls won the championship in 93, going into the 94 in the 94 season, these are the players that either got hurt, passed away, got traded out of the East. We're no longer there. Isaiah Thomas, you got Brad Daugherty, he got hurt. You got Larry Nance, he got hurt. Detlef Schrempf got traded. Dennis Rodman got traded. Dominique Wilkins got traded. Reggie Lewis, Drazen Petrovic passed away. Now that's a lot of strength. And Kevin McHale retired. And Michael Jordan retired. There's 10 very key players that are no longer in the Eastern Conference. So it's so easy to see why the Bulls won 55 games and why B.J. Armstrong and Horace Grant were able to snag All-Stars. They never did again. It was a one and done. But people try to make this case as it's some kind of proof. Again, the other video goes in more depth. But the Bulls added Tony Kukoc, Bill Wennington, Luke Longley, and Steve Kerr to give them incredible depth. And even with all that being said, and the Knicks kind of stumbling down the stretch into the playoffs, the Bulls still didn't beat the Knicks in the second round. Didn't happen. So, yeah, they lost in 7. It was a tight, good series. But anyway, that's it for this video. I just want to put this out there. I mean, everybody thinking B.J. Armstrong and Horace Grant being All-Stars is some sort of indictment on Jordan and some sort of proof that, Pippen was this, great player to lead a team and all this stuff. Well, I don't think so. And then the next year without Horace Grant, they were struggling mightily. I think they were on pace to be the 7 or 8 seed before Jordan came in, of course, and changed that around a bit. But anyway, that's it, and thanks for watching.